I've done a lot.
So here he is doing WordPress admin columns.
Okay, so my involvement with WordPress used to be sort of like 7 days a week. It's now turned to a point where I'm now, I'd say it's sort of like 6 days a week. I pretty much do it sort of like day in, day out. Now sort of like moving towards sort of like front end stuff. But the reason why I'm doing a talk about this is because obviously Kim mentioned about the customization of WordPress, and obviously Dave's done an amazing job to talk about the front end stuff. I'm more going to focus on sort of like just quickly, just briefly, about sort of like when you're using custom post types and custom fields and sort of like advanced custom fields and get post meta, specifically on the front end, but then you want to show that on the back end and make things easy for sort of for like the client if they're looking at certain things. So say for instance for events as a custom post type or something. There are various other ways, easier ways to do this. The plugin ways, obviously you've got advanced admin columns, and then you've got WP columns. These do a great job of doing it, but I'm always a fan of sort of like why use a plugin to do something that you can do yourself in sort of like 20-30 lines of code. You know, why install it and have some updates to monitor and things like that when you can do it yourself and sort of like using actual core functionality and built into WordPress that these plugins are doing exactly the same. So that's the plugin way. So obviously these guys do an amazing job. There are paid versions of these, so obviously use them in apparel kind of stuff. If you're a paid thing to do something like that, then if you want to, it's not. The code way, it's easier, obviously, and this is basically it. So pulling from this, from there, all the way down to there, basically adds a custom column into a custom post type that's created by custom post type UI or whatever your own code, and it basically makes it sortable, makes it viewable in the admin column, and just easy for the user to see. Now, I'm going to show you something like obviously an example, obviously because there's the code side of things. Just reading to shameful plug. That's it. You doing it? You good?
You're extending the screen to the charger.
Yeah, you're on a screen mirror and then you're
Yeah. We good? Basically, well, it's a shameful plug. Obviously, everything that I'm doing. And obviously, going back to this, it's just basically install a WordPress. So this email address is something that I've set up as a custom post type in the back end. So all these email addresses will go through into the back end under this VIP members list. And obviously, you can see sort of like there's nothing there, and it's been fed through custom post type UI, just straightforward. Also using custom fields, even though I'm not actually using it for this because I've done it in the back end through serialization of the data. So basically, what I'm talking about in terms of customization is obviously you can see sort of like I'm going to generate an email, but then also sort of like I'm going to use an external API to find out where the email address, the ISP is actually. So I obviously can find out what country they're coming from. Without further ado, obviously give an example. Let's go into here, give my email address. Okay, submit. Obviously, email address has already been added. Brilliant. We give another one. Test.com. Submit. Thank you for being added to the list. Tweet. Blah blah blah. Go to the back end. VIP list. Obviously, it flags up and says I'm from the United Kingdom. Brilliant. Also, it adds for customization of data as well, so obviously you can add as much stuff as you want. So going back to obviously from the code view, I don't know if you guys can see it. Basically, it's pulling it in from there. So obviously, I've got extra fields that have been called upon. So obviously, VIP name, VIP age, VIP country. This is the one that obviously I'm using as an example. It's important, so obviously, when you're using this functionality, to make sure that it's manage_edit hyphen, and then whatever your custom post type is. So obviously you've got VIP list, which is my custom post type that I've created, and /columns, and all this can be found obviously in the codex, which makes things so much easier. this is a little thing that I like to use. Obviously, it just makes this individual field sourceable. So obviously you can just click the sort of little thing at the top. So if I decide to say, for instance, another email address, it just make that little shiv appear at the top there. So obviously you can sort of go down the countries you want. And also obviously you can search in between search boxes and search for the other ones in the United Kingdom or South Africa or America or the United States. So you know sort of like from where your audience is coming from. If you've got a mail subscription list, where to target market them. And obviously I'm not going to go into marketing, but sort of like you could use that information to obviously to promote your product. So say something like, right, 70% of the target base is coming from sort of like Brazil. I know to target market Brazil for my product. I think that's that from that side of things. What else? Yeah, so this is pretty much the meat and bones of it. So obviously all I'm doing is putting show data in columns, which is a hook. Getting all the get post meta, and obviously that's the serialized meta kind of thing that I'm just using, and then I'm just using a switch case. Obviously to just pull out the data and depends on what it is. If it's not found, show the error. Obviously just in case something's gone wrong, I don't know, sort of bug or something like that. If not, then show the found country. And then just use that, just replicate that for each of the individual fields. And it should just make things so much easier for us. And then obviously at the bottom, again, following convention, make sure you put VIP hyphen list within there, just because it needs it. Otherwise, if you're using sort of like any post, or if you're calling something underscore post or anything like that, it won't show. If you're using separation of words in between sort of like thing, it needs the hyphen, because obviously it will create the hyphen when you put the post on. I won't show everything, I'm creating the email address in front of me, that's crazy. What else was that? Back to key there, I think. Yeah, let's go there. So obviously some links. These are obviously codex parts that talk about obviously this in detail, and then obviously if you want easy, just copy and paste code kind of stuff, then that's the place to go, kind of stuff. And then obviously I googled WordPress for custom columns, well, I was just sat right there, and these are the top three that came up. Yeah. Alright. Why do this? Obviously, sort of like we talked about customizations on the front end for the clients and things like that, this is another thing for the client. Imagine sort of like you set up your custom post types and you've got a massive list, so we're talking sort of like about I did a site for a cottage rental company and they want all the metadata for every single cottage, so we're talking whether or not it was kid safe, how many miles to the nearest shop, and they went really anal on the data that they wanted. But overall, they wanted sort of like in the column side, they wanted, just for a second, so imagine this is the cottage thing. They wanted the cottage postcode, they wanted the cottage sort of like first line of the address, and they also wanted its longitude and latitude, and they also wanted the phone number. Just because it made it easy should something go wrong, that they can just type it in the admin column and it would automatically populate it. But also from a visual point of view, they could just use sortable columns and search for the address that they were looking for visually as well. It just makes things so much easier, because otherwise you would have to go in, sort of like, see the custom post type, go in and see sort of like, alright, yeah, just code, cleansing, blah blah blah, look at all the metadata in the custom field tabs and things like that, and then you'd have to go in each individual ones. It is a real time saver for the client. It is a real time for yourself if you're using it to like certain projects that you build in person. So that's the main benefits of it. And as you can see from sort of like the line of code that makes it happen without using a plugin, it's tiny. It's barely even worth it, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? But it's something that just adds something so much that it just makes it easy for not only you but obviously the client. Obviously, however deep you go, the switch case statement will be however long it needs to be. But you've only got a finite amount of space within the actual admin columns to use and to fill the data, otherwise you'll end up sort of like with, if you ever use Yoast's SEO meta box, sort of like thing, you stick that in the admin columns, single post with the title ends up this long, it's pointless if it needs to be. So I'd say err on the side of caution when using it. But from the client's perspective, make sure that you only use the right amount of data in your things, so like in terms of scalability, in terms of usability, what the client will be better off using, so like in terms of getting access to information straight away from the admin column section. And that's about it.
Okay.
And that is the end of it.
That was a whistle stop. 10 We
9
gave
minutes.
it 10 minutes.
Put me to shame.
Any questions around that? Or?
So, just so I've got this right then, Jesse, that shows multiple posts all on one page rather than having to go into each individual post page to see the data.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is, like, if you've got custom data set out, talking to like stuff that you've employed to get post meta kind of stuff, then you can extrapolate that and use that in the admin column so that you can visually see everything all in one go, rather than just using like title, date, published, and things like that. For custom events, you can remove all that and put the data in that you want to see, or you want the client to see instantly. So they're not having to go into individual posts and look at the editor and see what data they want. They can visually see it all in the list and then just use that as they will. Chances are, you'll get to a point where the client only needs to go into the back end, not into the back end, into the post editor, just to see little things. If they want to interrogate further. But you can imagine, I set it up that I was going to have the age, the person that subscribes, the country, and the name, so that all that data will be there. Primarily, I'm only interested in obviously the country and the email address, but from my point of view, obviously the country thing makes sense, and it's just a little bit extra data.
And when you do your search, does that filter on all the fields, or just can you choose a particular field?
I was going to try and fudge it so that I could try and say that I'm coming from a different country, but yeah, it should pull it in from when you get postman obviously as well, because it's all within that whole bulk base
I was
point.
thinking if the country was UK, but there's also a postcode that had UK in the postcode, would it pull out?
It would pull out any reference to that within the column. Yeah, because it searches the whole column of that data.
Where you get country ID from? Where you get
I'm using
geo.
it's a geolocation.net type thing. I'll just find it out. It's, where is it? This is all the stuff that does the Ajax stuff with WordPress Ajax, which is really nice.
So obviously that's not cool.
It's going to be registered as a script. There you go, geoplugin.net. That one there. It's a free resource. If you use it and you advertise that you're using it, you've got to put an attribution license, obviously credit at the bottom. However, if you use it and you don't say that you're using it, you don't have to attribute it, which is brilliant. Something on their own website. It's crazy. But I found that one, yeah, and it just basically does James Collins from. Yeah, which is great.
Right, some of that one.
Yeah, it's completely free. I mean, you can donate. It's optional.
Because we've used a few that aren't either free or utilised, like things like the post company.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bit iffy or a bit too.
No, the guy that's written it is absolutely sound. So,
Alright, cool.
yeah, so there's something about, obviously you can pull all sorts of data out from it and whatnot. But yeah, there's something that's within the license.
Geoplugin.com.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. That's enough for Jesse then. Thank you very much.